Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing some Bed Wars, as we normally do. And I was thinking the other day, and there's only two things that I think about. The first is women, and the second is humanity's downfall and the inevitable heat death of the universe. The former topic is a topic for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the latter. I don't know how that saying goes. But nonetheless, we're going to be talking about humanity's great downfall and why humanity in general actually deserves its downfall. Because life is terrible and humans are terrible. I know it's a pretty bold statement coming right off the hop here, but I'm a man of my word, and I'm gonna give, well, actually I'm a dog of my word because I'm a dog, but I'm gonna give you the evidence. I'm gonna give you the facts, the cold hard truth. Something that the Trump administration clearly forgets to do. Insulting a political party. Check. Anyways, so you might be wondering. You're right. Why does humanity suck so much? Well, have you ever had a problem in life? Have you ever had a problem just at all? Ever? Have you ever just had a problem? And I'm guessing the answer to that question was probably yes. And if so, do you know why it was caused? Or who it was caused by? It was caused by a human being. A human being caused your problem. Whether they caused this problem directly or indirectly is irrelevant, because nonetheless it was caused by a human being. Whether it was a test, a stressful test that you had to do at school perhaps, or whether your mother was brutally murdered, and because the police were doing some illegal substances, they didn't properly collect the evidence, and then it ended up getting contaminated. The DNA ended up getting contaminated, and eventually they never had enough evidence to prove that your mother's murderer was guilty. And as you watch him walk out of the building, out of that courtroom, scot-free, you wish you could do something, because you know he's guilty, but there's nothing you can do. And do you know why that problem was caused? It wasn't caused just by a single human being. It was caused by multiple human beings. Every single problem there was caused by a human being. The first problem was caused by your mother being born from your grandmother. So the first person who caused you problems was your grandmother. The second person was your mother, because she got herself killed. The third person was the murderer, because he killed your mother. Actually, the third person is more likely your father, because he would have had to also give birth to you, create you, in a sense. And then the fourth person would have been the murderer. The fifth person, probably the detectives who fucked up the case, who fucked up solving it, and contaminating the evidence. Yeah. So now that you've understand why human beings suck and deserve to be eradicated from my examples, and I know that clearly one of those examples was more more harsh than the other. It's like, seriously, some of those fucking math tests are really fucking hard. Nonetheless, they both serve as examples to explain to you why human beings need to be eradicated. And your next question might be, how do we eradicate these human beings in the first place? Because I've most likely convinced you by now. And the way we do this is, I want to take you on a little history lesson before I can explain my plan. Do you remember the year 1945? Of course you fucking don't, you weren't born then. But you probably were taught about it at some point in your life. Whether that was in history class, which it most likely was, and you weren't paying attention, or some shitty YouTube video that you were watching on the internet. You probably know about World War II. And do you know what happens in the year 1945 during World War II? That's right. The US happened to drop a bomb. No, not just a bomb, but two bombs on Japan. Other things happened in that year, but for the sake of this, they're not relevant. And so, you might be beginning to form an idea of what my plan is. Good for you. Good for you. I appreciate you using some of your brain power instead of me just having to explain everything. It's much appreciated. So, what we're going to do is exactly what the US did, which is drop a nuke on every single country in the world. But as you may know, those nukes that the US dropped on Japan in 1945, well, Japan's still a country, right? It still exists. In fact, both Hiroshima and Nagasaki are still inhabited to this day, which just won't do. Just won't do. So we're gonna use one of those little bitch nukes, one of those little fucking baby nukes, one of those atom bombs. We're gonna use a nuclear bomb, one of those big boy bombs, one of those I can fucking eradicate the entire population of a country in one go. And one of those guys. And what we're gonna do with these big boy bombs, so to speak, is we're gonna drop them. We're gonna drop them on every nation on the planet. And only once we've done that twice over will we be satisfied with our work. Because we need to make sure that they don't survive. But you also might be wondering at the same time, well, if we drop a nuke on every single nation in the world, doesn't that mean my nation is going to have a nuke dropped on it? And the answer to that is yes. And immediately you might be like, whoa, Pug. I don't really want to have a nuke dropped on my nation. And what I have to say to that is you're being very selfish. You're being very selfish right now. Because do you think that just because you know the problems of this world, that you deserve to be exempt from its correction, from its punishment, so to speak? I don't think so. I don't think that just because we have this idea, this plan to fix it, that we should be exempt from its punishment. That would simply be not fair. And I may be cruel, but I'm also fair. So, anyways, that's my 2020 election campaign. Vote for me.